One WhatsApp notification. Between the ping of your phone and the flare of your mood, how long passes? About half a second. Today we slow that half second down 600 times and walk it frame by frame. You'll watch this machine, your own mind, assemble an emotion in front of you. And it isn't just WhatsApp. The read receipt with no reply, the typing bubble that appears then vanishes. Each one gives your chest that little lurch. In a moment so small, you'd swear you felt nothing. The machine has already run a full cycle. We're going to catch one and take it apart. Last lesson you learned emptiness. Everything is parts fitted together, no independent core inside. So what about feelings? Anger, fear, attraction, are they assembled too? The Heart Sutra's answer, yes, from exactly 5 bundles: form, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness, the 5 aggregates. Last lesson, I left you dangling about the thing you call by the first person every single day. Time to settle up. You say, I feel. I'm furious. I'm just like this. Today we open the word I and inspect the parts. The result may be the course's most shocking moment. Inside, there is no I. Just 5 departments working their shifts. Map position, the Heart Sutra, lesson 2 of 4. Last lesson's line, saw that the 5 aggregates are all empty and passed beyond all suffering today. We take apart the words, 5 aggregates. After that, the sentence stops being an incantation and becomes an instruction manual. 3 quick questions to open each one, testing what you know about your own mind. You still might not pass. Question 1. An emotion, say, anger, does it erupt suddenly, out of nowhere, impossible to predict? 3, 2, 1. No. It feels sudden. In reality, it's a 5-step assembly line, running too fast to see. We'll walk it today. Once you can see the steps, you have somewhere to reach in. Too fast to see and impossible to control are different things. That half second holds 5 frames and there's a frame you can catch. That distinction is the entire lesson. Question 2. When you're angry at someone, is it the thing they did, the event itself, that you're angry at? 3, 2, 1. Hard to accept, but no. The event is neutral, raw data. What you're angry at is your machine's packaging the label, the translation, the added chili. The thing happened once, your mind screened it 40 times. Who booked the other 39 showings? By tonight, we'll have caught the culprit. Do the arithmetic. The event happened once. The first showing came from the outside world. The rest were extra sessions your own machine laid on. Which department keeps booking the overtime? And no replay is faithful, each pass adds heat. The event might rate a 3 out of 10. Turn it over enough and you've built a 10. You're not processing the thing. You're manufacturing it larger with every pass. Now, verify that claim. The event itself is neutral. The same words, you've changed, land on one person as concern, on another as an accusation. One string of sound waves, 2 emotions. If events built emotions directly, everyone would get the same output. They don't. The processing is your machines, not the events. Question 3, on vocabulary. The third aggregate is usually translated perception. Does it mean thinking, turning things over in your head? 3, 2, 1. It doesn't, and that's the trap most people walk into. Perception here means recognizing and labeling. In fact, all 5 words drift from their everyday meanings, which is why they need a full lesson. Add up your score, and let's get to work. Keep that trap in mind. All 5 words have one. Form isn't about looks. Feeling isn't emotion. Perception isn't thinking. Formations isn't geology. Consciousness isn't the soul. These are technical terms over 2,000 years old. The original word skanda means a heap, a bundle, every one a street away from its modern cousin. So, no guessing. We walk the line, one station at a time. First, one wide shot. An event goes in, 5 steps happen, an emotion comes out, form intake, feeling scoring, perception labeling, formations drafting the reaction, consciousness screening it all. 5 steps inside half a second, only then do you feel angry. Now we press slow motion and walk it station by station. One guess before we set off and hold it in your hand as we walk. Of these 5 stations, how many do you think you can actually steer, and which ones? Keep your answer. We'll check it against the machine at Station 4. Station 1. Form. The material layer, your body, your ears, the sound wave itself. Ping air vibrates. Vibration hits an eardrum. Pure physics. No story in it yet. Form is the raw material's entrance of the production line. Push form one level deeper. It isn't only the sounds and light out there, your body is formed too. Your hand, your brain, that last heartbeat, all on the raw materials side of the ledger, not the you side. That stings. If even the body is a part, where is the I? Carry that question down the line. And Station 1 gets more ruthless still. Your body is a part under continuous replacement. Cells die daily. Cells are born daily. And you and your 3-year-old body share barely a cell. So which one is you? Even the nameplate has nowhere fixed to hang. Station 2. Feeling. The instant raw material arrives, the machine's first move isn't analysis, it's scoring. 3 slots. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Ping, you see the sender's name, and your stomach tightens. Just slightly. That tightening is feeling faster than language. The score lands before you can form a word. You imagine you spend the day feeling nothing. In fact, the scorer never stops. Even boredom is a score. And here's the crucial link. Remember craving? The second truth? This is where it climbs aboard. Cling to the pleasant. Shove off the unpleasant. Feeling is the doorway suffering walks in through. Try it now. As you listen, the machine is already scoring. Bit slow, this. Quite like his voice. How long is this lesson? You didn't decide to review me. It reviewed anyway. That is feeling. A scoring machine you cannot switch off. The slot that swindles you is the pleasant one. A pleasant feeling arrives. You try to keep it, and it fades. It always fades. So you chase the next one. Buy the thing, scroll the feed. Remember Lesson 1's treadmill? This is where it clocks in, chasing a pleasantness that forever slides backwards. Careful, though. Feeling is not the emotion. It's the emotion's spark. One flash of unpleasant isn't yet anger. It's a match struck, not yet caught. A great deal of practice is learning to intercept right here. Mark the spot. The experiment at the end comes back to it. Why intercept at feeling? Because by Station 4, the fire is burning, and burning fires are hard to put out. Here, match struck. Nothing alight you simply recognize. An unpleasant feeling has arrived, and the sequence may never connect into anger at all. The earlier the interception, the cheaper. Feeling and perception blur together easily, so cut them apart cleanly. Feeling is the body layer, chest sinking, shoulders tightening, before any words exist. Perception is the language layer. He's got it in for me, the start of story. Spot which layer is firing, and you know where to reach in. Station 3. Perception. Recognize, then label. The machine runs a match against the memory warehouse. This name equals the one who tore into me last time. This tone equals trouble. Here we go again. That, again, is pure perception output. The event hasn't finished arriving, and the label is already on. Perception is the station most likely to fool you. You think you're seeing the person. You're seeing the label your machine stuck over them. Same facial expression. You file, "She doesn't like me." Someone else files, "She's tired." 2 different worlds. Most of the time you're reading your own labels, not reality. Next lesson. The 18 realms takes that apart in full. And perception's labels expire. You're using the label you stuck on your partner 3 years ago to read the person they are today, an out-of-date map of a living human. Plenty of relationships fail not because the person never changed, but because the label was never updated. Pause here. Recall one time a headline made you flare up on sight, then you tapped through, and the story was nothing of the kind. That was the perception department mislabeling a parcel, and you signing for it. Station 4. Formations. The most dangerous department on the line reaction manufacturing. The label lands, and formations starts drafting. Should we be angry? How angry? What's the devastating comeback? The rehearsals, the scheming, the 39 replays, all formations on overtime. And when Buddhism speaks of karma, this department is mostly what it means. Formations is also the department everyone most mistakes for me. Your impulses, your habits, that line, "I'm just that kind of person," all its products. This aggregate is karma at work, reaction after repeated reaction, laying down your character and, in time, your fate. But notice, habits are built, and whatever was built can be taken apart. A concrete case of karma. Every time you feel uneasy, you reach for your phone. The first time was a choice. The 100th is automatic formations, has carved a groove, and the water follows it. Bleak? The opposite. The groove was carved one drop at a time, choosing differently. One reaction at a time, carves it back. Character isn't stone, it's sand. Now check the guess you've been holding. The station you can actually steer is this one, and only this one. What form receives, what feeling scores, what label perception throws up, all 3 outrun you. But formation's whether to act, and how is where you hold a vote. Practice was never about having no feelings. It's taking your vote back at Station 4. Station 5. Consciousness. The masters switch the knowing that something is happening. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, mind consciousness. The screen where the other 4 stations' products get projected. String them together. Form takes in. Feelings scores, perception labels, formations, drafts, consciousness screens. Half a second, one unbroken pass. Consciousness is the one most often promoted to the soul, the real me, the deepest trap of all. It's the knowing of what happens, but it too is a station, not an eternal audience member. Try this. The one who knows that you know who's that. Chase it down and you'll only find one more layer of processing, no boss, anywhere on the line. The conclusion slightly terrifying, strangely relieving. Open the I, layer by layer form, feeling, perception, formations, consciousness, and when the last box is open, there is no me kernel inside. That doesn't make you fake. It makes you not a thing. You are an event in progress. A thing can be smashed. An event can move, change, and loosen. Consciousness also manufactures the grandest illusion: continuity. You feel it's been the same me, all the way from childhood. Look closer. That me is consciousness flashing frame after frame of flipbook, riffled so fast the still drawings seem to move. You're not a line. You're a stack of frames, shuffled too fast to see the gaps. Now you see why the emotion came out of nowhere, is an illusion. It isn't sudden, it's fast. And fast doesn't matter. What matters is this: every station on the line is a process, not a you. How much that one sentence matters, you'll find out in the second half. This discovery has a formal name: non-self. Handle it carefully. It does not mean you don't exist. You plainly exist. The whole line is humming right now. It means behind the line there is no fixed, sovereign I in a control room. Processes, but no little worker inside. I is a verb, not a noun. And Buddhism holds no patent on this line. Modern cognitive science describes emotion in roughly the same order: stimulus intake, rapid appraisal, categorizing, action tendency, conscious awareness. The same production line, photographed 2,500 years early. The difference: Buddhism doesn't stop at description. It insists there is freedom on the factory floor. You now know every part by name, so let's go back and read last lesson's line once more, and this time you'll hear something entirely different. Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva of compassion, moving in the deep practice of perfect wisdom, looked upon the 5 aggregates and saw that every one of them is empty, and so passed beyond all suffering and distress. Saw that the 5 aggregates are empty. Every word now opens up. He looked and saw that all 5 stations are process, and no station hides a fixed me. The machine didn't stop. He saw through it. And that single act of seeing through is what carries you past the suffering. Notice what it does not say: switch the machine off. The line keeps running. You still eat, still feel, still think. Saw they are empty means seeing through them. None of the 5 is me. See that, and you stop fighting to the death to defend the me, and that release is what beyond suffering is made of. One further cut, the most thorough. The knife doing the dissecting gets dissected too. The consciousness you use to observe all this is itself empty, itself just a station. No ultimate observer me hides at the back of the room. Taken all the way down, only a process remains clearly seen, fully unclenched. That is, empty, followed to the floor. Last lesson, we dismantled a table. Parts fitted together. No table core. This lesson, we dismantled a mind. 5 aggregates fitted together, no... You can finish that sentence yourself, and that is what the same is true of feeling, perception, formations, consciousness, means even the knife that takes things apart is empty. Buddhism isn't alone here. Nearly 3 centuries ago, David Hume went looking inside his own mind for the self, and only ever caught perceptions in motion, a feeling, a thought, never a self underneath. A bundle of perceptions, he called it. The Buddha got there 2,000 years earlier and went further. He worked out how to stop the missing pilot from making you miserable. Field test, Monday morning. Your boss sends 6 words. Come to my office a minute. Roll the slow motion. Form 6 words hit the eye. Feeling chest tightens, unpleasant. Perception label. I'm in trouble, matched to that one time 3 years ago. Formations drafting the defense, regretting 3 unrelated things. Consciousness, broadcasting it all live. 6 words to a racing heart, half a second. Another daily hit, a snide comment under your post. Form a dozen words hit the eye, feeling stomach drops. Perception label, they're coming for me. Formations, thumbs already drafting the vicious reply. Consciousness streaming it in high definition. Half a second, again. It isn't only the bad stuff that rides this line. Your crush replies with one word. Feeling chest goes loose and sweet. Perception. Do they like me back? Formations drafting 3 versions of the reply. Consciousness live broadcast, plus slow motion replay to savor. Same machine. See it running, and even happiness stops yanking you around so hard. 2 people hear one sentence and run 2 different lines. Your partner says, "I'm not cooking tonight." Your line sticks on, "They can't be bothered." Theirs was only running, "I'm shattered." The argument that follows isn't about the sentence, it's your processed version colliding with theirs. Recognize that, and a remarkable number of fights dissolve before they start. Now, where to reach in? The event, form, you can't control. The scoring, feeling, outruns awareness. But between perception and formations there is a gap. The label is stuck on, and the reply hasn't been sent. Recognize the label as a label. "I'm in trouble" is perception output, not a fact, and the gap begins to widen. Freedom lives at that address. Label stuck perception. Reply unsent formations. The few tenths of a second between them are the entire battlefield of this practice. Into that gap you can drop one sentence. That's a label, not a fact. Manage it, and you've turned a reaction back into a response. This move has a modern name. Psychologists call it reappraisal. Not lying to yourself that nothing happened, seeing clearly that the fear is your machine's version of the event, not the event itself. 2,000 years ago, it was called contemplation. Today, reappraisal. Same gap. Here's the sentence to actually use. I notice. Not, "They're out to get me," but I notice I'm having the thought that they're out to get me. Those 2 words are the switch on the observer's lamp. Get them in, and the grip has already loosened before you even tried to let go. One quick question to close the loop. The Bodhisattva's name in this sutra in Chinese. 3 characters meaning the one who observes at ease. That observes. Which station is it training? A. Feeling. B. Perception. C. Consciousness. 3, 2, 1. The best answer is C, though, really. It's the whole line. To observe is to hang one extra lamp in front of consciousness's screen. And the name itself is the most beautiful sentence in this course. Observe yourself, and you'll be at ease. Read the name slowly. Observe, self, at ease. Observe, hang a lamp over the line, and watch. Self, the one being watched, is you, not everyone else. At ease, keep watching, and the system settles, loosens, comes home. It was never a god's name, it's the manual for a move you can make at any moment. The move takes 3 seconds. 1. Recognize. The line's running. 2. Name the station. That's perception, labeling. 3. Don't act, just watch. That's the whole technique. No cushion, no incense. The hard part is remembering it at the exact moment you're furious, which is why it needs practicing. Which is why people sit quietly. Observing is a skill, and skills need reps. Meditation is the gym. You sit and watch thoughts arrive in waves and leave in waves. Train the lamp when nothing is at stake, and it still switches on when you're genuinely livid. Nobody performs on stage what they never practiced backstage. One more worry. So you're telling me to suppress my emotions? The exact opposite. Suppression is formations working overtime, one reaction hired to sit on another. Observation is the department clocking off. You see the anger, you don't process it further, and it passes on its own. You know this one by now. Waves come and go. The water's fine. Now, the hardest target. The voice that criticizes you. I've blown it again. I can't do anything right. Every line is a label from perception and a script from formations. Not a fact, and certainly not you. Don't argue with it. Just recognize it. Ah, the self-criticism department has clocked in. See it as one station, and you no longer have to fall in whole. Try it on 3 a.m., catastrophizing too. Form, nothing is happening. It's dark, that's all. Feeling chest is heavy. Perception label, tomorrow's going to be a disaster. Formations, 20 worst-case endings. Recognize, these are scripts, not prophecies, and the tree loses most of its solidity. Why does suppression always lose? Try it right now. Do not think of a white bear. There it is. Instantly. Ordering yourself, don't be angry, works the same way the order has to summon the anger first, just to point at it. Observation is different. Let it be there and watch. Add no fuel, and the fire goes out by itself. 3 traps to disarm. Trap 1. The aggregates are empty, means I don't exist. No fixed self can be found. The operation runs on, like a company with no core that still pays salaries. Trap 2. Once I see it, I'll never be angry again. You will training makes the release quicker. A gym, not a light switch. Trap 3. Using this to analyze other people. Absolutely not. The blade only works pointed at yourself. And the reminder, that matters most. The 5 aggregates are not a theory for sounding clever at dinner. You can explain all 5 terms beautifully and still get flattened by the next surge of anger, in which case the knowledge was decoration. This blade cuts one direction, inward, at your most worked up moment. Only the live score counts. One fear worth dismantling. Does taking myself apart make me an emotionless robot? No. You're not asked to stop feeling, only to stop letting one feeling convince you it's the whole of you. Look at the sutra. After seeing through the 5 aggregates, the Bodhisattva's first act is helping others compassion. The clearer people see, the warmer they get. So, what actually changes? Before, when an emotion arrived, you were the emotion a passenger, carried wherever the car was going. Now you can name every station, and you move into the driver's seat. Not the end of emotion, the end of emotion driving you. That is the entire payoff. Now hear the sutra tell Shariputra, the Buddha's sharpest student, the same thing. Shariputra, form is not other than emptiness. Emptiness is not other than form. The same is true of feeling, of perception, of formations, and of consciousness. Shariputra, all things are marked by emptiness. Not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, not increasing, not decreasing. Those 3 phrases, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, not increasing, not decreasing, are the most riddle-like lines in the Heart Sutra. We won't force them open today. Let the sound land. Let it plant a seed. Notice which of the 3 lands hardest, and tell me in the comments. Before we finish, the next stop. Today, you took apart the me. Next lesson, the world. Everything you will ever experience arrives through exactly 18 doors, 6 senses, 6 kinds of object, 6 consciousnesses. The famous line, "No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind," lives there. It doesn't deny your eyes, it photographs how you see. Exit quiz. 1. The 5 aggregates, what does each station do? Form takes in, feeling scores, perception labels, formations, drafts, consciousness screens. 2. The gap sits between which 2 stations? Perception and formations label stuck, reply unsent. 3. What does the Bodhisattva's name mean? Observe yourself and be at ease. 1 sentence to pocket all 5 stations. Take in, score, label, draft, screen. Memorize those 5 verbs and, mid-emotion, you can always ask, which station is the machine at right now? Knowing your station is the first click of the seatbelt coming loose. Why does merely naming the station loosen anything? Because before you can name it, you are the anger 0 distance. The moment you can say, "Ah, that's perception sticking on a label," a gap has opened between you and the event. Recognition is where freedom starts. The Heart Sutra. Half walked. Next lesson. No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. You think you see the world. What you actually see is what your eyes hand you. Next time, we take your entire receiver apart. One strange but true conclusion. Dismantling the 5 aggregates cost you nothing. The I is gone? It never existed as a solid object. You've simply set down an assumption you'd carried for decades. Not born, not destroyed, not increasing, not decreasing, is about exactly this kind of no loss. For today, keep 1 sentence. You are an event, not a thing. This week's experiment. Catch 1 feeling. Pick a day. Catch a single instance of the chest tightening or going light and do nothing about it. Just say inwardly, "Feeling," scores in. Catch it once, and you've done something most people never do. Inside half a second, you saw your own machine. If live is too fast, there's an easier version. Tonight before sleep, take the day's angriest or happiest moment and walk it back through the 5 stations. Master the replay, and the live version speeds up on its own. What you're training isn't knowledge, it's the observer's lamp. You've now walked half the Heart Sutra, emptiness, how things exist, and the 5 aggregates, the me, taken apart. Next lesson, the knife turns toward how you see the world at all. But tonight, you have exactly 1 job. Catch 1 feeling. Do that, and you've stopped listening to a story, you've started walking the path. Last thing, don't wait for perfect observation. You'll drift off. You'll still get angry. You'll remember the lamp an hour after the machine dragged you round the block, completely normal. Success is noticing, a little sooner each time, that you've taken the bait. Every noticing widens the gap by an inch, and those inches, laid end to end, are freedom. Subscribe and turn on notifications. This is Dharma Decoded, and remember, every station is a process, and none of them is you. Tell me in the comments which station catches you most often. Mine is formations on the night shift. See you next lesson.